Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. We've got some text rendering here. Now I thought I'm already a bit confused here. We should have multiple lines. We have this as a test line. I thought we had already fixed something like this. Oh, and before we do anything, I think I might have to get pull. No? Okay. Working line population from Wednesday, that sounds right. For text boxes, okay. So let's see where we are defining the text box to render. And yeah, this is a test line, and then this is a test line. Okay, this is bad news. We had already done this Wednesday, but it doesn't seem to be working this time anymore. So yesterday we tried to do, or Wednesday we tried to do, you know, we've got this substring for every line, and what we're doing in the init here is we're kind of manually assigning the character count for now for each of those lines. The total line count we're assigning manually because we haven't done that yet. And then yeah, what did we... I thought we had figured this out already. Okay, so we have a pages table. Every page has a table that we can put in a second array, and every second array is the line number. So pages 1 is page 1, line 1, page 1, line 2, page 1, line 3. They're an empty table because we need to be able to add a string field so that we can put text in the string field, and then we'll put an empty string as an assignment from the get-go, and then we're cycling through all the characters of our text. We are incrementing the line character count as we go through all the characters. Oh, okay, I'm remembering what it was. And I didn't research to fix the problem. Yeah, okay, so the problem is we can't ask if a character is an empty character, if it's a space character. We can't ask this in Lua like this, so we have to figure something else out. If we manually put, hey, there's a test 1 and a test 2 like this, we should be able to see our test 1 and 2. Yep, so there's our lines. So the idea is we pass the whole text string into our init function for the dialogue. Then we do some arithmetic. We cycle through all the characters and populate not only the total pages, but you know, we start on page 1, we go through for as long as 19 characters can fit. We put the word onto our line, and then we advance the line. It's just that all of our logic here is detecting whether or not a key, detecting whether or not a character in a text string is a space or not. And I thought that we would be able to just say if the text is equal to, and then put a space there. Yo, congrats, dude. Winner, winner. This doesn't work like this, though, so we have to figure something else out. I'm going to see if there's some documentation on how to determine if a character in string is a space in Love2d and Lua. So we'd have to extract the character And I guess... I don't know if I get this. We have to... It looks like we'd have to check an actual... just the character. We can't compare it to a string. We can't say... we can't say if the character in a string is equal to an empty space, because that's not how strings work in Lua, apparently. But let's do a test here, because we tried to, the reason we figured out this didn't work yesterday is because I tried a simple thing to do a count spaces. So I said there's a test variable, and it's a string that has 3 spaces, and then I cycle through all of the characters, and if the test is equal to in a space, go ahead and increment our space count. Then we're rendering our space count, and that just doesn't count. So see, space count is equal to 0, so that isn't working. So let's try. Is this in our init still? No? Yes. Okay, so our init, we still have a space count. Let's try to do this. We're going to write a little function that takes in a character and spits out whether or not that character is a space. So we can say, give us a local function here, and it's going to be called isSpace. And we can say, it needs to take in a parameter of a character. And we're going to say if the character, and this is the difference, we can say if the character is equal to a space like this, now the difference between this, well, I'll see if it works first, so I guess... we can do... Okay. Yeah, we can say... we can return the value of the character being equal to a space or not. So if we say return character like this, when we call this function and give it a character, if the character is a space, it should be true. If it's not, it should be false. So we've got this function, isSpace. Then we need to check an individual character, which we do with a text substring. So if we cycle through our text and we pull out a text substring of the character, we can run this function on our character and determine whether or not we need to increment our space count. So I think, let's put this function up here. isSpace takes character, right? So we've got here, we're cycling through our I, so we can say, we're going to say local character gets a text substring, and we take the substring of the text we're using, right? So we're going to say sub test method sub, and the 2 indexes we're giving it is the 2 very indexes of our current loop. So if the character is at index 10, then this will be character gets assigned to be a substring of the test string starting at index 10, ending at index 10. So it's just the character we extracted. And then when we pass this in, we need to pass it into if we run our function here, if our isSpace with the character we just snagged is true, then we're going to go ahead and increment our space count. So let's see if space count counts up to 3 spaces now. I don't know if it will, but if it does, we're in business. Space count is 6. Okay. we initializing this differently somewhere? Let's see. No. Okay. So for some reason, this is coming back 6 times. We only have 3 spaces in there. Local char, test sub. I is space. If the character is a space, then we're going to get itself plus 1. So I don't know why that's wrong. If we do a plus 2, we have a 12. If we just say, if we don't do anything, we don't have any increment. So why is this getting called 6 times in this list? Oh, we only want to snag. Oh yeah, we do want to snag every text, every character. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 characters in our test. Let's take out, you know, all but 1 space. It should just have 1 space in there. Does it say 2 for space count? It says none. If we give it that, oh, well, let's fix that. Let's say there's 1 space, every space count. I wish we had a plus plus in Lua, but we do not. Space count gets current space count incremented by 1. So let's see here. We have 2 space count, even though there is 1. So what is happening here? We must be, you know, for whatever reason, we're returning this value twice as often as we should, because space count's getting incremented twice as often as it should. If we have no spaces in our test string, our space count is correctly 0. But as soon as we have 1 space, it's off by 2. What is going on? I'm tempted to just divide the answer by 2 and so we get the right answer, but that can't be right. It must be thinking, well, yeah, why would it think characters empty? Oh, maybe, well, let's see here. Let's put an empty string with no space in here. Well, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Is this one? Because I'm thinking maybe a space counts as 2 because there's a new character. Well, space count is 4. That was definitely not what I expected. So if there's no spaces, we're testing for equality of a no space, there's a space count of 6. Why? And then if we add a couple of random spaces, we have a space count of 2. What? That worked. 2, what? So that's 3 spaces. And it doesn't count any. That is just so weird. I'm wanting to say that we did this wrong. Maybe let's try this. So this has 3 spaces. We save this. Let's cycle through our test. I think we can say, or for I gets 1, test. Go ahead and do, and we're snagging that char of our test substring, and then running the function on every character, determining if it is a space or not, and then we'll put the space up here. And we'll test it here. We're looking for a space count of 3. We have a space count of 6. Does that have anything to do with the... It shouldn't have anything to do with the test strings we've got in there. Yeah, this shouldn't matter. But I don't know what's causing it to count all the spaces twice. Oh, this is a test line. It's just that. Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, let's see if we initialize space count any strangely. No. No, we initialize it to 0. We increment it if we find a character with a space, and then we print it up. That's it. Okay, so I don't want to do this. I think it is bad. But this should be illegal. We shouldn't be doing this. We should have a space count of 3. Or oh, see, this is wrong too. What the? We just had space count of 6. I tried to divide by 2, and we've got a space count of 2 now. So something is definitely busted. Let's try this differently. We'll say if our character is equal to an empty space, return true. Otherwise, return false. Still space count of 6. Now, what's really weird, if we take out 1 space, then we have a space count of 4. So it seems to be doubling them, right? Well, yeah, so 1 becomes 2, 0 becomes 0, 2 becomes 4, 3 becomes 6. And then when I divided by 2, we got the wrong answer also, which is extra strange. 0.75. Why would space count be 0.75? We divide by 2, so space count would have been 3. Huh. So if space count was correct at this point, then we must be doing something wrong with our space count. What? If it really was 0.75, that would be double 0.75 is 1.5. So that is extra strange. Why would... what? I'm gonna Google this. We'll see. I do not know. I don't see any good things here. Determine if character in string is a space in Lua and Love2d. Let's see. So it looks like ChatGPT, extract the character, test if it's empty. That's what we're doing, and that's not right. So maybe we try this character match for a white space. Maybe that's it. So there is a Lua string.match function that can match specific patterns. So we extract our character, we call the match method, and the parameter we give is a %s for a white space character, and that should be our character match. So let's give that a shot. So instead of doing this is space, we're going to take the character and we're going to run the match method, and we're going to give it the white space character format specifier. And if that is a %s, we're going to return a incremented space count. So let's see. This has 3 spaces, should be 3 spaces. We increment our space count for every white space character, and then we're printing it up. So let's see if that is 3 now. It is not. It is still double. What? So, let's just test some stuff. If we give it an empty string, does that count as a white space character? No. If we give it one string, one character, does that count as a space count? No. If we give it literally just a space, it should be 1. It is 2. What the? Why? Okay. Empty string. Empty string is 0, but string with 1 space is 2. Why? What is going on? Do we need double quotes? I don't know if that'll matter. No. 2 is a space count. Why? So why would this become 2? Why would there be 2 white space characters in our substring? The loop must be wrong. Well, no, because we're giving it a substring of the character one at a time. Okay, so right here with a space in our test string, we have a space count of 2, which is incorrect. So what if we try something different? Maybe we can say, let's go into our test at index 1 and run our match function. We'll give it our white space format specifier, and if it's true, then we'll increment our space count by 1. We can't index. We cannot index. Oh, we didn't extract our substring. We need to extract our character. So we'll say, give me a substring of just the first character in our test string, and run the match method on that character. Let's see if we get 1. 2. What the? Okay, the dumbest thing is we can say, okay, well, what if we just take our space count and assign it to be half of the space count? So 2 divided by 2 should be 1. 0.75. Bro, what? This is not working. I don't know what else to try. There might be a is space method in some library we might be able to try, but I'm not sure if it's worth importing a library to check if a character is a space. Like, come on. I don't know. Space count. Maybe we can try assigning space count to the class itself. I don't know why. Oh, that's why. Space count. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I think what's happening is there's actually 2 instances of a signpost in the map, in map 1.1. So it's taking the local variable and then incrementing it, right? It's incrementing it to 2 spaces, and then it goes to the next signpost and increments that by 2 spaces. So yeah, if we do a local space count, assign it to 0, we should be able to count the spaces in our given instantiation of the object. So, gosh, that is tricky. And it's like we just so happen to be spawning on a map with 2 dialogue boxes. So I'm like 99% sure that's it. If we go ahead and try this again and say this has 3 spaces, and then we do our old method where we cycle through the text, extract the character, do the character match for a white space, increment not space count, but self space count. Not the local variable that both of these have access to, but the internal field of space count unique to the object itself. We could delete this, and then now, instead of printing the local variable space count, we'll give it the actual space count of the given object. Now we should have 3 spaces, which we do. Okay. Easy enough. It just took us 40 minutes to count spaces. Let's see, you know, if we give it another space and another space at the end there, let's make sure it counts all 5 correctly. Yep, 5. Okay. All right. That makes sense where the 1.5 came from, because we had 2, we divided. It was 3 spaces counted correctly. It divided 3 into 1.5, and then it divided it again for the second instantiation to get us to 0.75. So that's what was so confusing. But now that we've got that, this is just a way for us to test whether or not we know if a character is a space or not. Now we can go and try to implement our logic right here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have string fields for each line. They're initialized to empty strings. I'm curious if a space count of an empty string counts as a white space or not. I'm going to test that real quick. Let's see, we've got test text. Let's put an empty string here and see what our space count is. I believe it's 0. I think we've seen that before. Yeah, 0. Okay, so that's good. So if we walk through the logic that we're doing for our line here, we're cycling through all the text characters of a given string. We're counting which character count index we're at. It should probably be called line character index. Here's where we're checking whether or not it is a space. So if the character that we're looking at does not equal a space, then we know we're in a word. While we're in a word, we're cycling through all of the characters in the text, and we're saying if the text index that is one character, or actually, yeah, this is, we're actually, yeah. What we're doing here is, as soon as we're in a word, we're trying to get the length of the word that we're currently in, because we need to find the length of the word that we're currently trying to print up, but before we print it, we get the length of the character. Say it's hello, that's 5 characters. Is that right? Yeah, 5 characters of hello. Before we print hello, we need to make sure that if we were to add all 5 characters of hello to the beginning of the string that we're on, like let's say our line 1 is 19 characters long or 15 characters long, that means we can only fit 4 characters of a word on that same line, because hello would not fit, it's 5 characters long. So we have a 19 character limit per line. So we need to count how many characters are in the word. That's what I'm calling this word supplement count that we're incrementing. That's a bad name for it. It should probably be called word length, word character length. And then we're basically we're saying, okay, cycle through 19 characters worth of characters from our text and check if that's equal to a space. Basically, once we find a space after we're already decided we're in a word, then we know we've reached the end of the word. So we're going to break the for loop because we've already incremented our word supplement count as many as we've needed. And then if the line character count is greater than 19, this is wrong. We need to say, actually, yeah, this is wrong. We need to say if the line character count plus the word supplement count is greater than 19, then we need to add to the next page. So let's rename some variables here. I want to say that this is called line character index instead of line character count. So line character count becomes line character index. Then word supplement count should be named word length, current word length. That just makes a lot more sense. So we're going to say word supplement count is going to get replaced with current word length. Okay. So if our line character index, if the character we're about to print on the current line plus our current word length is greater than 19, that means the next word, if we're printed on the same line, wouldn't fit on the given line. Then we need to add it to the next page. And we add it to the next page by saying, okay, we're going to reset our line character index to 0. We're going to increment which page we're on. We're going to set the line we are on to 1. This is wrong. Yeah, we want to say that we're on the next line. So we're going to say self.line we are on, self.line we are on gets 1 more line. Just increment the line we're on. No, we had that right. Because we're adding it to the next page, we need to reset the line we're on to page 1. We need to initialize the tables so that we can not only insert a table for each line, we need to do that so that we can input string variables, initialized empty string variables into those tables. So we don't actually have to say, yeah, oh crap, you know what? I think we do actually have to say that they get an empty string. That's how we do it up here. Yep, we do it right here. We say string gets an empty string. We need to do the same thing here. Because we can't append to a field called a string type. We have to have a string type as the string field in order to concatenate. So I think we do need that. Let's undo that. Yep, let's say that the dot string gets the empty string. Okay. So we have an empty string there for every new line for the current page that we are now on. But we are not yet. This is a little weird. Because we need to be able to say, okay, we'll now append the entire word to the dot string field of line 1 if it didn't fit on one line. This gets a little... I guess we just have to make sure when we give it strings to print in our dialogue system that we're not doing help with 19 exclamation marks, because if that's the case, it'll say this whole word can't fit on one line, so therefore add it to the next line, but it can't fit on that line either, so it'll add it to the next line, can't fit on that line either, so we will just never see it. So I guess as long as we have that in mind, you know, I don't know. But we still do need to append to our string 1. String 1 doesn't need to be empty. It needs to be assigned to the whole word that we just pulled. So the whole word that we just pulled would be from our pages table at the page that we're on, -1, because we just incremented the page. So we can say page we're on -1, line, it was probably on, oh shoot. Yeah, this is to the next page, not the next line. Oh my goodness. This is tough. Yeah, we're going to pull from the previous page and from the line 3 of our previous page. But we need to pull... The thing is, no, this is wrong because it's not even part of this yet. It's literally part of the text string we're looking at. So it'd be a substring from text I to text I plus the length of the current word. So it would be here we would say, okay, line 1 of the next page is now equal to, it would be a text substring. So we can say, well, we're cycling through our self.text. Gosh, we still have to fix our characters, our space character count. Text, index, well, substring. Okay, so self.text is our whole text, and we're running the substring method on it. And the substring is starting at index I, because that is the index of the very first character that we are in a word. So if our index is not a space, then we know we're in a word, and if we're in a word, do all of this stuff. So at this point, text to index I is the index of the first character of our word. So passing I would be the first character of that word we are currently in. So the substring for the next word would be sub I and I plus self dot current word length. So we're going to add, the whole word length to the index of the substring we're trying to extract. And we're just assigning that substring into the string field for line 1 of the new page that we are now on. Okay, and then if the line character index plus the current word length is not greater than 19, then we can add the word to our current line, add whole word to current line. So we're going to say at our pages, at the page we're on, at the line we're on, dot string gets assigned the substring of, I think this is wrong, not from the first character. What are we doing here? We're saying take the current string that we have and concatenate it with a substring from character 1 to this character. That is just so wrong. I don't think we want to do that at all. I think what we want to do is say self.pages. Now we had this test, right? We have this test where we say, okay, well, if at the end of the day we're trying to extract just a simple string into that string field and we put those tests on, well, we're screwed here. We're missing an end somewhere if we're in a word. Okay, we are missing. We don't need this. We're using the character match. Seems to be okay. Where are we crashing? Signpost 107. 107. We're missing an end here. Okay, we are missing an end. What the heck? We deleted. Oh no. We deleted the top of our line here. That's not good. Yeah, we deleted all this on accident. Oh, come on. Okay, let's see if we can copy this. That work? Okay. We just need to remove those things. Okay. All right, let's try it again. Line character index. A nil value. Nil line character index. Okay, line character count here is line character index. Okay. Okay, we should have our test 1 and test 2. Son of a bitch, I'm not seeing it, not seeing it. Did we just delete? What the heck? Where did all of our stuff go? Where did all our logic go? What the heck, yo? We just lost all our logic. Oh, here it is. It's in the init? Oh, I guess that makes sense. Okay, test 1, test 2. It didn't like this? Okay. It's a little disheartening, but, you know, I don't know when we're wrong. We should be seeing our test lines here, but we are not. Oh, and you know what it is? Well, yeah, I think it might be because we're just never getting to this point because our square or our white space identifier is not working correctly. So let's try to adjust these fields outside of this value and we'll see if that works. Come on, test 1, test 2, please. Thank you. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so this is add to the next page. This is add the word to the current line. So the current line is whatever page we're on and whatever line we're on. So we're going to say, and we have this here, we're going to say, okay, page is line we're on. Now I'm going to say that this is now the string we have. We need to add the whole word. So we can append to the current string the whole word we just got. So we say we get ourselves concatenated with, and then what we need to do is like we did up here where we say, okay, we'll take the text, but our substring of our own text, and it's going to be I, which is the character of our first word, and I plus the current word length, so we can add the whole word here. Self dot current word length. Okay, concatenate that. Our old thing we had was from character 1 to the self text of our first word, which would add characters behind our first word, which is not what we want. So here we should be appending the whole word to this current line, and then we're setting our line character index to be modified by the current word length. So once we add the word, we increment our line character index, which will make it so that actually, I think we need to modify our I. Yeah, I think we need to modify I because we're trying to skip. Like once we find the first word, then we go and find the end of the word. Then we determine, does that word go on the current line or does it go on the next line? And then once we know where it goes, we need to reset our line character index. Well, we need to reset the checking of which character we're at. Yeah, we need to reset I. Oh, and we do that here. So we did have that. We say I is now equal to whatever we used to be on plus the current word length. In this case, we would reset I I think we would reset I here to be equal to 1. If we add it, no, it would be 1 plus. Actually, yeah, it'd just be the self-current word length. Okay. Okay. And then we still need to fix our space detection. So let's go ahead and extract the character. We need to extract the current character we're on, and we need to extract the next character we're on. Well, shoot, this gets really tough. Because right here, we're in a loop of 19, so we're cycling through 19 characters. So in order to extract the character, we can just do a local character of next character, giving it K, and then overriding that every loop. So for here, we're going to say a local char is going to be equal to the text at index I. It's actually the text substring method and the two values, you know, because we're converting a string into a char. So we need to be able to say, give it 2 indexes, and that's going to extract just the only character we're currently on in this for loop. That's what our char is. Then we're going to ask if our char with our match method is equal to the white space string, and if so, this is actually if not match, because we're trying to find the beginning of the word here, and we're saying if it's not a space, then we know we're in a word. And if we're in a word, go ahead and do this. And doing this would say we need a local next char, and that is going to be a text. It is a self.text substring, the index of which is it would just be what we're doing, which is I plus K as the starting point and the ending point. So whatever K we're at, our next char is whatever I we're at plus this K that gets incremented through the loop. So 1 character at a time for every, once we find a word, we go through 19 characters worth, and we need to then do our character match here, and we can say if not, our next character pattern matches with the white space character, then we know we are no longer in a word. Actually, this is if it is a match. Once we find a space, we know that we have found the end of our word, so we break our in a word loop here. And then otherwise, we just increment our current word length, so we count the length of the word we're currently inside of. So now we have the pattern matching for our logic here. So I guess, there's so many things that can go wrong in this logic, but we are manually assigning each line to be a character count of 19, a line count, total line count of 3, and a page.length. So I think we might be okay to test this. It's just that if we look at what we're printing is the line result. And the line result starts off as an empty string, and then, okay, in our update function we have this. So as long as our string field is accurate, this is going to be appending them one at a time. So let's see if our line 1 result is now getting populated. with the correct string, and we'll take a look at what we pass out as an argument. We'll look at that. But we need to make sure we don't accidentally do our string test initialization, which it looks like we turned that off. So let's take a look at the string we give it. We say this is a test line, this is a test line 2, this is a test line 3, all of which have what's 19 character limit. So let's see. All right, 41. We need an else. Do if else. Local next char if then break else. We're missing an end here. Okay. Okay, this one has an end right here. That one has an end. This one doesn't. Okay, so does this one have an end? Yep. This one has an end. Or do end. What just happened there? What the heck? Yo, that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I hit J to scroll through, but it deleted stuff. What the heck? Okay, that's not good at all. We're still got, what, too many ends? Not enough ends? What the heck? We're not closing an end somewhere. I just don't see where it is. Let's see if our get diff knows. So we're looking for an end that we removed or something weird in here. We did remove then, but we have the if then, so that should be okay. If and then, if and then. Yeah, we didn't add any other ends here. I don't know. Only thing I could think of is we screwed this up. Do we not give like a closing bracket or something? Match S. Then should be right. Yeah, we have it there, it's fine. Test sub. Yeah, we have self.text sub on the other one. Yeah, see, this is red too. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to do. Looks right to me. Okay, let's just go, you know, if then, that's fine. If else. Oh. There. That should be it. Okay. That looks right. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay. It did not work, but we can see parts of the text. Which is maybe better than I was expecting. So we just need to go through our logic and fix the appending on a per word basis. I am out of steam for the night, so I will call it a night here. But we will, let's just take a look at our get status. All we did is change this file, so we should be okay to commit, and we'll say that we are using match method for space detection in words. Okay. Sweet. So tomorrow we'll go a little more in depth in the actual logic for adding the words on a line-by-line basis. But yeah, we should be able to get something. I'm hoping tomorrow is the day we get a line on screen, or a whole three-page text on screen here. So thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll hopefully get some more stuff done. Hey, have a good night.